Scott, let me ask you a question. In terms of creating authoritative content that you did for Portfolio and now for The Atlantic, and this is, how do people, when do people watch, and how do they watch? In other words, these are sort of either working people or people who are busy or an upscale audience or whatever. And the same question, I guess, to Ben at the Washington Post. How do people consume this stuff, or when do they consume it, and how do you program for them?
I was thinking about raising this point without you actually asking me the question, Andy. But our biggest challenge is both the Atlantic Portfolio and even Yahoo Finance when I was there is our audience info snacks. They come in, they read something quickly, they move on. They're coming from HuffPo, Google Search, Facebook now increasingly, and they'd rather pick up a headline, read the first paragraph or two, and move on with their work than commit to 15-second pre-roll and a 2-minute video, and that's a real challenge for us. One way that both at Portfolio and at The Atlantic we've been successful is with the people that engage with some of our longer pieces. So Joshua Schenk did a piece, What Makes Us Happy, recently, cover story for The Atlantic. I think it did 3 million visitors, something like that. We embedded the video after the second paragraph, so people that got into the story, there was a video of an interview with a doctor who's been running this study at Harvard for, it goes back 70 years. And embedding that video within the second, third paragraph created approximately a 5% click-through rate. So we were actually able to generate streams once people were hooked in. If we put it in and just run in the right rail, if we put it in the video section of the site, we're not going to get a lot of traffic on it.
Well, one of our most popular videos of all time was embedded security cam video from Joshua Bell's concert. It was part of a Gene Weingarten article about whether or not Washingtonians would recognize genius in this world-famous violinist, or they just go by him. And it was an embedded, like what you were saying, Scott, embedded video. And so that was like 2 years ago, and literally pops up continuously on our top 10 list because it found this very niche audience, but apparently that's just crazy about Josh Bell. And I think the lesson that we learned from that is that, trying to get these digestible pieces and hooking up with, like, obviously it's a great story as well, but making it, digestible and incorporating it into and giving it context is definitely one way of creating web video that works, at least.